但是那还行，到这个应该还行。
找忙了，找忙了。
哦，呀，得发什么才有？
没有了，带了，
完全带了。
发2张4，发2张4。
哇，
有必要这么大？有点太大。
呀，是啊。
还是心理安慰，别人对着有音乐。
5
5,000 something 5,000。
老纪牛逼啊！
真的。
他昨天那个策略非常好，他弃掉一手 AK 嘛，
你推走8个 BB。
对。
是 AK 4还是 AKO 啊
AKO。
但我觉得很难扣那个。
那盘是要封，那个过程是要封，因为那时候均码20个 BB 40万，他那个人推了100万，他有90多万，对，2点几倍均码。
这牌就完事儿了。
怎么？
我 A3 for 的。帮他踩了个3。
不重要，再给他中，够了，不要骗了。
Dicey。
可惜，
这发不出来的。
做完了是吗？
对。
加油啊，哥！
啊，这个才稍微有点 action 都均码。
I have 89 behind.
Cautious play though. Check,
It
check,
is,
since both
yeah.
players actually connected.
Yeah, quite a bit of pot control we can see here. And on the turn, looks like Song Yun Yu, I believe is his name, has turned a flush draw to go with his middle pair.
It's a really bad sign if you're starting to struggle, Selena, because then I don't know what's going to happen to Johan and me.
Yeah, because I don't think that K should be there. That is the problem.
That's possible,
Yeah.
right? We've seen a couple. Ooh, look at this run out, by the way. Hard run out.
Hard,
So
hard
Queen
run out,
8 actually gets there. Makes the second not flush that's available with the king on the board. Obviously, that's going to feel like the absolute stone cold coconut. And it's going to feel so good when your opponent bets a 13k into you. And at this point, this man is just wondering, how much more can I get from him? What will he pay off?
Yeah, what kind of raise he should be putting in here?
What would you go for? Because if you go like for, let's say like 40, then it also feels like, well, that seems incredibly like, I really want to get called. Would it be like super crazy to just go all in here?
Oh, no, I don't think I can really see him shoving here.
You make it like 38?
Yeah, I think like something like 35, 36, it would be, because I just don't know what kind of hands he's hoping to get caught by.
That's all in, babe.
It is. It is.
I love how they at least thinks like me. I think this is the idea here is just to, I want to make it look fishy.
Yeah, I want to make it look like I could be bluffing.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like maybe in his mind, and I'm not saying this is correct, but in his mind, he might think it's more likely to get called while making this move than if he makes it like 36, 38, 41, because then he has like 42 behind, right? That's just kind of odd.
Yeah.
So I think in his mind, this play is going to gather more calls. If that's true, well, we're going to have to ask Ferreira. He is going to at least toss in a time bank. Fun play, though. It's like massive overbet. Absolute massive. If Patrick Leonard was here, he'd be talking about the power gem.
And, you know, when you play like this, it does make the opponent think, why are you doing it? You know, what kind of hands could you possibly be doing that with? And you know, there are times where people have made really big calls with much less than just, you know, a top pair holding.
A hand that would be possible, for instance, is like 6-7, right? Like you checked your open ender, you actually made a pair of sevens on the turn, and on the river you didn't quite improve, so you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna ship it. I'm sure that that is a hand that Ferreira is thinking about, or maybe something like pocket sixes is also a possibility. Can't think of too many other hands. 8-9 perhaps, 8-6. But it's unlikely because he's holding an 8. Ferreira is going to make the correct fold. He will let it go. Greed, it does not always pay. If we would have gone very small, I think we absolutely would have gotten called right from 13 to, let's say you make it 26. You're always going to get called there, just out of curiosity.
It's just out of curiosity, you know. Curiosity kills a cat, all right? It's going to take a few chips off Ferreira if he went for more of a value raise.
So do you think they're going to play down to like 18, 9 today? What is the plan for day 1C? Do you have any information?
I would believe that these flights, there's a chance it's playing down to pretty much close to money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for the money in the main event, like for the following days, right?
Yeah, or very close to. You know, we could be looking at possibly an hour of play before, you know, hitting that cash.
Got A6 of clubs here in the hijack. As we're gonna open things up. Xing Yuan? Jack 5 there.
You're still trying to figure out how to say those names, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a guessing game for me every single day. Zhang Yang.
Yeah, Zhang Yan.
Zhang Yang. Couple of suited aces going at it. A6 against Ace 8. Are you feeling a chop pot? Oh, no, with this one.
No, it's not. The underdog has come on out on top here on this flop.
It's only very difficult to catch up with Ace 8. We obviously have a... the hearts is still alive, but so are the clubs, to be completely fair. With this kind of a flop, I mean, maybe the King 10 run out could help us. It's gonna be difficult. Ace on the turn would be absolutely disastrous. If you're not that deep and you find an ace on the turn, it suddenly feels like you found heaven, even though your hand is obviously still kind of weak. He's even gonna consider the float here with Ace 8. And I do get it, right? You think maybe once in a while Ace High is good, running hearts are alive, the 9-7 run out gives me a straight. Like, you're really searching for stuff,
Yeah,
but it's there.
It's there.
Wow, he mixed a raise even, okay.
I do find players, as the trend of poker, you know, people are sticking around a little bit more. They realize that there's, you know, those equity in their hands that they didn't know they had before, you know, especially with the option of running things through, you know, different solvers and so forth. People realize, oh, you know, you're actually meant to be calling this spot rather than just folding your hand. So, you know, we do see he does turn a flush draw with his Ace 8 here on that 10 of hearts.
And additional chop outs. I mentioned them in the beginning of the hand. Seemed unlikely, but with a king on the river, we do chop. And then your ace high will suddenly feel like the nuts. When it's like king, king, 10, 10, ace, you're like, oh, can't lose this hand. The king of hearts would give us some real drama. If that rolls off on the river.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
the running hearts. Ace 8. With that raise on the flop. Somehow getting there. Not quite the nuts, but it's going to feel like the nuts. Because incredibly unlikely his opponent has a full house here. From the hijack. How are you going to ever have a full house? King 10, kings, quads, sixes. Nah. Zhang Yang is going to feel real good about his hand. And now he wonders, how much can I get paid for? What do you think he's going to go for? 30, 40?
It looks like he's sizing it a little big here, I believe. So it's a pot of 64. He's chosen to bet 35k. So a little over half pot here.
Exactly in the middle of the 30 and the 40. I like it though. I think that's all right.
Yeah. It's kind of hardcore for A6 here. Because, you know, king beats you, any 10 beats you for sure, and then yeah, I mean,
Running
there's
hard.
those backdoor draws that got there.
Yeah, but I definitely can blame him for calling here because it does feel overall like a little bit fishy. Like it just feels weird. I wouldn't trust it. And definitely I think on the future table as well, knowing that people can watch this, they can watch it back. Honestly, I think I would try to be a hero, but he finds the correct fold.
He finds a fold, yeah.
It just sucks to be bluffed knowing that you got bluffed, you know? If this is just one of the 100 tables in one of the big rooms, it's alright. You can shake it off. You never have to think about his hand again. But if you have to look it back, well done. Good fold. A little lucky there for our ace 8 of hearts.
I mean, the good thing about having a live stream is that, you know, in the event any of these players are curious about what they get blown off by and what the opponent has, hey, you can look it up. You know, in half an hour's time, he will be able to check out one of our streams and be able to see, you know, whether it was a good fold or not. And give himself on the pat on the back in this case.
Are you familiar with any of the players that are currently at the futures table other than, like, let's say Ferreira that we saw yesterday? Have you played with any of these guys?
So the guy in the glasses that you see, that's on the right corner there. He's one of the players we actually commentated quite a bit on yesterday. I think it was on 2 separate occasions where he got moved away to the table and came back onto the table. Do you remember? I think his name is Joel. He's the one that was, or maybe that was Yon that saw him quite a bit. He was the one that was tanking, like towards when they were getting close to money,
Yeah.
and he was just literally like 7 seconds every single hand, even though it was one of those like Instamucks. And
Yeah.
I literally thought when Jan asked me, I was like, oh, I think he's just balanced out that timing tell.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he actually started almost 25 players before the money to slow down the speed of the game on his table to, guarantee himself locking up some cash.
The min cash.
Yeah,
And did he make it?
he did. He did make it,
It ain't
but
pretty, but it's a good
without,
start to the week.
without actually, it was a pretty dramatic hand where he actually, I believe, shoved a king 4 suited under the gun, ace king called, pocket jacks reshoved, ace king folded, and he managed to triple up.
Yeah, but that was with Chi Sha Ching, no?
Yes,
Yeah,
the eventual winner.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but he was the one that folded the ace king.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
And he was
so
the one on.
That was the guy with the king 4 of
Yeah.
diamonds. So yeah,
Yeah, because there was a king in the window, or a king on the flop at
precisely.
least.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
no,
a
I
really
do.
big,
I do
big
remember
hand.
that hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but apart from that, like, no, don't really recognize any of the players.
Yeah, Xing Yuan. Yeah, that's right. Do remember. We've had a couple of very fun hands, I think, in the free roll. Hands that will stay with me for a little while, especially earlier today. Son Juman with the rejam of 8-4 off after under the gun opens, where you're at 9 big blinds. Like, that is such a bizarre play. But if
Yeah.
you're convinced that everybody on the table thinks that you're only playing the nuts, sure, I guess, but probably still better moments to be found. But when it does work, it looks very cool. That is one that I'll remember for a while. And then I always want to talk to players immediately. All right, tell me, why do you love 8-4? Like, what's the story? Which tournament did you win? Who's born on the 8th of April or on the 4th of August, whatever it is? Like, tell me. There's got to be a story here because we all know that ain't the hand.
我不知道会不破保，破保可能比较难吧。
Where do you think Pereira is from?
Spain,
I would have gone Portugal, but
Portugal, yeah.
well, Spain is absolutely possible. Small chance for Brazil, maybe?
Brazil, yeah, I can see Brazil. Ferreira.
Does it say Gia William?
Ja William, yes.
But that's very weird, right? Because first part sounds very Chinese, and then the
Yep.
second part is suddenly we're British now, mate. Gonna stick around here with Queen 9. That is, well, guess one overcard. Sees the backdoor straight draw, and he's like, I can already see the perfect 10 roll off, the 10 of hearts or something. Or we just spike a queen.
Yeah, top pair.
Yeah.
And it actually gives Ja William a straight draw.
On such a, like, at first dry board as well for a random queen to roll off is good. Now, obviously, it's getting a little more connected because King 10 does indeed have the open ender. There's 2 clubs on the board. Surprised that we're checking our queen, by the way. I feel like if you find such a miraculous queen, I mean, he's hoping that his opponent's going to put some chips in the money. As he does play in the flow of the hand, clearly. It was Ja William who also bet on the flop. But we're going to have to check raise here, right? Because it's just too scary at this point with 2 clubs, potential straight draws on both sides of the board, to be fair, and it is possible. I'd love to see a big raise here. Just
Yeah,
calls.
just calls.
scary because a lot of scary river cards could roll off as well. Even the ace is very scary. We know it won't help.
Oh,
Ja
you
William.
called it. How do you do that? This man can see into the future. And Ja William here makes a straight.
Stone cold nuts as well, with the ace of spades on the river. And that's tricky. Now, I'm not sure if like check raising would have really blown Ja William away, but I think if you make him play for all of his chips, it's like almost 20 big blinds. That we could have made it more even because we called 35, right? So if you make him call for 22, it becomes very hard. Now, obviously, there's a lot of rivers where maybe your opponent will fire away one more time on the river, and then you just call him down and you have him. But it's a scary board because every club complicates things a little bit. Every king, every ace, every 9. Every 10.
Oh, he goes for a shove there on that river. I guess, yeah, I mean, the pot is pretty much a pot-sized bet.
Yep, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
And his opponent doesn't have a whole lot left either. It's also weird when you size him up and you're like, 60. You know, it's like, well, what am I going to do with 60? Then I've got 26 left if I lose. I like it. Very difficult hand to play right now for you. Does it say cat or kai?
Yeah, it's pronounced as Tsai.
Hi.
Tsai.
Tsai.
Tsai, yeah.
I am learning new sounds today. Tsai. Like a TS sound.
Tsai,
Tsai.
yeah.
If I ever come back to Jeju, I have completed at least 2 courses of Duolingo Mandarin. I'll make you so proud, Selena.
Yeah, you can read all that ping. You'll be able to read all that ping.
Does find the fold with the queen 9. Good fold there. Obviously, frustrating run out. At first, a very lucky run out, to be fair, because things were not looking very hot for him on the flop. Somehow found the miraculous queen on the turn. Played it very passive. Check call, check call. And then on the river, unfortunately, could not find the river card he was looking for.
And this brings Ja William to second chips on this feature table. Sitting quite comfortably with around 50 bigs, I think it was.
50 would be a lot, but yeah, I guess he's about there because the pot was quite big. I think current big blind is 5k, so if you're around 250k in chips, and that would make sense. You bet 115. No, I think he's at half of that, no? If I recall correctly. No, you're right. Yeah, that's around 50. I mean, it's early, day 1C, even though these guys have probably been playing for quite some time. I always love the energy in poker rooms, just like kind of walking through all the table and seeing the happiness, the sadness, the frustration.
Yeah.
You can pick up on all the different energy levels so quickly, but I find it fun.
You get some cheering and screaming as the day goes on.
Everyone kind of chill in the beginning, but you get the tense moments later on after you've been playing your tournament for 7, 8, 9 hours straight, and then it all comes down to the good old pocket jacks against ace king, right?
Those crucial flips, isn't it? Actually, that's how that huge hand happened on that final table with three players left. It was pocket 7 versus ace 10, and that sealed the deal. And yeah, pretty much, Ji Xiaoqing just had such a breezy, final few hands after that.
He did have a really crazy hand when I was commentating with Johan, where he was close to potentially being eliminated. Like if he would have called, he already invested like 1 million chips into the pot, and at that point he was playing like 2 million.
Yeah.
And if he would have called, because his opponent put him all in, and he had a callable hand, but he found the fold.
He found a fold,
Yeah.
and he wasn't good, was he?
No, he was definitely
it was
behind. He
good
was
that he
losing
found
his
a
hand.
fold. Yeah.
But it was a really weird hand because his opponent wanted to make a big raise pre-flop, like 3-bet, but because he string bet, the tournament, the floor director came over and he's like, hey, that's not allowed. So now it's the ultimate min raise. So that's from 100k to 150k.
Okay.
And that just made the entire dynamic super weird.
Right. Because maybe if he had made it normal sizing, is it possible that Jishaching probably would not have been in there with his whole
Yeah.
his cards.
I mean,
Yeah?
the thing is, it was King 10.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do think he would have seen the flop, and the flop was actually really good for King 10. It was like legit like 10-4-3 or something against queens. So-
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a bizarre hand, so definitely dodged a couple bullets on his way to winning that trophy, even if the final bit may have looked somewhat lucky after winning a big flip. Everyone has their spots in tournaments. Very, very rarely will you ever have a tournament where you're like, well, the hands all played themselves, you know, like there wasn't much to it.
Exactly. You know, you do get easy days of poker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get ones where like, you know, every time you see a flop, you just connect and you have top pair, you know, you have two pairs, you have straight draws, flush draws, so it's really easy to play. And there are days where you
Every hand is
cannot
tough.
connect at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
You know, you play with small pocket pairs, it comes all over cards. You play over cards, it comes, you know, like just nothing to do with you, right?
Like, you have
over and over
ace king
again.
of spades, and it's
Yeah.
like 7, 8, 9 diamonds. And you're
Yeah,
like, "Oh."
and then you get check two. You make a bet. You get check raised. You know, so yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Those days are exhausting for sure.
They are very fun and challenging, but you also have days where you just have kings and the hands kind of do play themselves. But I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
It's also like, if things are going well, then all your semi-bluffs go through immediately. Whereas like, yeah, okay, I've got some connection, but I kind of hope they don't call. And then you fire and they fall all immediately. And you're like, man, an easy game. The danger of days like that, though, is that you do really start believing in yourself. And if you have
Yeah,
three
like,
of those days in
I'm
a row-
good at this
Yeah, you're
game.
like, I'm so good. Like, where's the next event in the Bahamas? You know, I'm going. Like,
Oh wow, that's really interesting here. So we actually see under the gun +1 Ferreira here with kings raising at pre-flop, and then out of the small blind, you know, he doesn't have that much behind. He's made a 3-bet to 30k.
I think he's kind of targeting Ferreira because I think he knows Ferreira as an active player
Yep.
and is going to open somewhat loose under the gun. Obviously, going to snap fold here. I think this was just a hey, if you're opening ace 5 or like offsuit ace 10, that kind of stuff, I'm going to punish you for it. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to fight back. Unfortunately, once in a while, the aggressive guys do have hands
Do have
too.
a hand, yeah. So kind of bad timing
Yeah.
from small blind there, unfortunately.
But not
But
as well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
but
the attempt, right?
It is. You can see that some of these guys are capable of making these plays, which is, you know, fun and good to see. I mean, poker is boring if, you know, he comes to a small blind, he just folds. You know, you like those guys that's making the moves on the table.
Absolutely. And I think that these guys have probably been playing with Ferreira for a while. Maybe they've watched him play yesterday. I think you also stand out already a little bit as one of the few Europeans or South Americans in this predominantly like
Yeah,
Asian field.
Correct.
And
I think
then-
he might be the only one we've seen so far, right? That is not Chinese or
No, I
Asian.
saw Christian Harder.
Oh,
Do you know-
okay. yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I mean, the fact that I remember the name goes to show that we
Yeah,
haven't seen too many.
okay, yeah.
And there are a few more walking around, to be fair, but
Yeah, Christian's American, right?
that's a good chance. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
no
yeah,
idea.
yeah. I know him. He's old time grinder.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the days. We're talking about like, my goodness, like 15 years ago. Yeah.
It is 2010. I remember when I just started playing my first ever online hands of poker, but we're talking 20 years ago, like 2000, early to mid 2000s, you know, and Elky
Yeah.
was just on TV for the first time. And I barely know the rules, but I just downloaded.
Oh
I-
wow! So you've actually been around poker for
Yeah,
a really
no,
long
I
time.
played for a very long time, just kind of on and
Oh,
off.
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
24/7
Right,
non-stop.
right. Like not a pro.
No.
But yeah, for fun, for a
Yeah.
really long time.
And I think
yeah.
my first hands ever were still when I was playing Warcraft 3, so that was around 2005, 2006.
I played Warcraft 3. yeah, I did. I did.
We can talk about that. You know that Johan was one of the best players of all time in Warcraft. Like I was good,
Yeah, yeah.
good
yeah.
enough to go to events, but
Yeah.
Todd is. Don't tell him
Oh.
I said this. You know.
No,
I
no,
don't want
because
his
you don't want him.
his
No,
ego's
no.
sticking out as it is. But especially for that era, he was
Yeah.
an undisputed top 3 player in the world for a little while. He
Oh
was
wow!
very, very good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when I played my first ever hands of poker. The clients were so ugly back. The PokeStars had the brownish client. You remember?
Yeah, yeah. Very
first-
early on, right?
And then I tried to play party poker because they had fun sounds.
Yeah.
And I remember like I was like, I just played some hand. I was like, I think I have some hearts, and there's more hearts to come. And I like, made a flush, and I see like I just like hopped into. I barely knew what was what, and I hopped into like a 1-2 game, you know. And I run downstairs. I'm like, Mom, this is the game called poker. You played on the internet. I just won like $140. He's like, no way, that's awesome, honey. It's like, 2
Sounds
hours
like-
later, obviously busted. You know, like, but I dusted off 3 buy-ins. I was like, man, this wasn't good. I know that's basically what I started a long time ago. On and off over the years, played in a lot of different casinos around the world as well. Played a lot over in Korea, but only in the Seoul casinos, like Seven
Okay.
Lock and
Yeah.
Paradise.
Right.
Or the
So,
walk-
so you've
walking.
always been very much a gamer at heart. Like any type of game, you just loved. Yeah.
Well, like once I became a pro gamer in
Yeah.
video games, I was very exclusive. It was like now 5 years of Warcraft 3, that's what I do.
Okay.
I did 1
Yeah.
year of Dota,
Yeah.
Heroes of New Earth, that's all I did, and then I
Yeah.
basically did 14 years of only StarCraft 2. But poker has
Oh.
always been like the side passion.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ups and downs. Vegas, if I'm ever there, I'd love to play.
Right.
Gone to a few of the Unibet events that they organize over the days.
Yeah.
Played in a couple of bigger events as well. And the
Okay, so
Netherlands-
so for you now at the moment,
Yeah.
your go-to is still StarCraft.
yes, because that's
Yeah.
mostly my job.
Yeah.
That's what I stream most of the time. But at this point, after like 14 years, 15 years
Mm.
of StarCraft every day, I've recently been enjoying some other games, but in a very casual way.
Yeah.
Not with the
Yeah.
idea of like, oh, I want
Oh,
to be
go
pro,
pro,
or I
yeah.
want to be a commentator. It's legit gaming for the sake of gaming,
Gaming,
which
yeah.
I've not done for a long time. But poker has always been mega fun. I find it fun to go to casinos. The only problem with poker is that if you're in a relationship and you're like, hey, honey, you want to go to the casino, you can't really, sit down in the poker room and say goodbye for 7 hours and then come back. It's just not very social
No,
in that way.
no, not very good for a relationship. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's fine if she knows what she's signing up for. But if you say, like, we're going to have a fun evening in the city with a nice dinner and then we'll go to the casino, the idea is that you sit next to each other, play a tiny table game, right? Whether that's 3-card or Ultimate Texas Hold'em, or you play some slot machines, but you sitting in a mix with 8 other guys wearing earbuds for 8 hours, that's not a fun night out for
No,
your significant
no.
other.
But man, I think 7-8 hours is on the low end. I've heard guys who go 36 hours.
That I have never done, but I did make a rookie mistake once after I was in Sinaya during one of the Unibet events, and I won the esports sit and go invitational. So 9 gamers got invited.
yeah.
Just one sit and go. It was like 5K, 3K, 2K, something like that payout.
Yeah.
So I won 5K. We went to the bar. We had some drinks. I paid for food and everyone. I was like, oh, awesome night. Then I walked home, and it was around like 12:30, like 30 minutes past midnight. And I see a few cash games running. I was like, what are you guys playing? They're like, PLO, the
Yeah,
Eastern
yeah.
European. I was like, sick, open seat. They're like, yes, join. So I started playing, but it was my first time ever playing live PLO.
Yeah.
Stakes were not crazy high. Let's say like average stack was like 400 or 500, but obviously it was a bit much for me barely knowing PLO. And I won a hand, I lost a couple hands. And then I started fighting back, but at that point I realized what was happening. They were like, "Man, this guy, he
Yeah.
sucks at PLO." That's
Right,
what they were
right. He has
thinking
no
about.
idea what he's doing.
And that's when the gaming fire ignited in me. I was like, "Oh no, we're gonna battle." And at that point, to be fair, like I battled for 3 hours straight, and I didn't play perfect, but I
Yeah.
played pretty all right.
Okay.
So up, down,
Yeah.
very close to even.
So you figured out the game really quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Like
They
I-
caught
I-
up really
the
quickly.
combos
Because
rolls-
PLO could be a really rough game. Yeah.
No, I learned it rather quickly, and I
Yeah.
already felt I had a couple good moves early on. But then I made the mistake of saying to myself, these guys think that I'm the weakest link, but I ain't leaving until they are leaving.
Yep.
But doing that against a bunch of Eastern European grinders was a terrible mistake.
yeah.
Because I started 30 minutes past midnight, and,
Oh.
at one point it was 1 p.m. in the following day.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, okay, I'm giving up.
Oh my goodness.
I admit defeat to
Yeah,
the Eastern
yeah,
Europeans. Like, well, with the last 10 hours, I legit was very close to even. Like I wasn't losing, I wasn't
that's
winning.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you do have a natural knack for this game for sure.
that was a really. And I remember the people that went out the previous night. They walked by the table in the morning and they're like, "Oh well, Kevin, you're up early." I was like,
no, I'm still wearing the clothes from yesterday.
If that's only true. Had some French fries delivered to the table, had a couple drinks, but yeah, no, that's at that point I realized like, no, I'm all for long sessions, but I wouldn't do ever like the 36 or 40. I just
Yeah,
find that
yeah.
unhygienic as well. Like I will start feeling sticky, even sitting for 12 hours after already having a long day, right? Like that day started maybe at noon. So then you start playing at midnight. It's already a 12-hour day. If you then make it another 12 hours, this is 24 hours of sitting there in a shirt and jeans. It's like, I need to go to the shower eventually. You know, like,
Yeah.
I can be sitting here for 36, 48 hours straight. 24 is where I draw the line, and that's, I think, already pushing it a
It is
little.
pushing it.
Yeah.
It is definitely pushing it. I think I usually play my best game like around the first 2 hour mark, and then I think I'm good after that. I think 2 hours where I'm done and I can get up and leave. Yeah, and then everything just deteriorates after that. I think it's just because that concentration you require sometimes for poker is very exhausting. You know.
No, absolutely, especially if you're truly trying to play your A game and you're looking
exactly.
at all the little things. You keep track of how everyone bets, how they even shuffle their chips if they're having a difficult decision, right?
Yeah.
Like all the little things, it becomes very draining.
Oh, we're actually seeing a bunch of players here with you know those little
They all have the
one
same.
gappers and connectors, but they all have each other's outs. And if the board comes down with some, you know, some 8s, 9s, 10s, it'll be interesting.
Fine a 9, but I think the ace is going to slow the action down a little bit. In a 3-away pot like this, people will very often be wary of the one guy that has the ace, and if it's not obvious who has it at first, that guy must be slow playing the ace, and I don't think it's the biggest action board. Now if we have like a jack or a king roll off on the turn, that would become a bit exciting. I like how it's checked in that actually puts in the 18k. That's
Yeah.
queen 9 to fold, to be
Queen
fair.
9 folded.
Yeah.
So we're left with 2 players without a pair in their hand.
I don't see how you call with jack 8 here. It's very optimistic, I think, if you're calling jack 8. You don't have a spade in your hand either. It's just a fold. Aggression pace. The man represented the ace and just took it down immediately.
So Ferrera's name is just Ferrera, right? He does it. He's like
I had-
Madonna.
There was a different name to it.
Is that- yeah,
I
there
saw it
was,
earlier.
wasn't it?
But I think it made his name very long on
Really
the
long,
graphics, so
yeah,
it became very
right.
tiny and it looked a bit out of place. But no, he definitely has a different name. And I want to say it was something with a D, but not David. Doesn't matter. I've also had like a 2-3 year period where I was streaming a lot of poker, and my poker streams would also be quite long, like 10, 12
Oh, is
hours
that
straight.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I streamed a decent amount.
Oh.
A lot of
What
MTTs.
platform were you?
Mostly GG.
Okay.
But I did, like, back in the days, I did some on PokerStars as well.
Yeah.
Played some cash games on Unibet, but mostly GG over the last few years. The moment I could play on GG, I started playing on GG.
Oh man, yeah. Then you've had a lot more poker experience than I thought you
no,
would have.
Decent.
I just thought you had 3-card poker experience.
No, I've been a bit of a grinder.
Yeah.
And I when it comes to cash games online, I basically exclusively play PLO, ideally 5-card, but if I
Okay.
can't, I do 4.
Yeah.
Tournaments, though, I do prefer No Limit. Like PLO tournaments, for some reason, I don't find very appealing.
No?
No.
Okay.
And No Limit cash games online, I just think is boring. Like
Yeah.
live, I can play it,
You
and
can
I
play
think
it
it's
'cause
fun.
it's fun.
Yeah,
Some table talk and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone, I feel like, plays a bit more, but like online, it really becomes like an ultimate grind and nuts festival, and
Yeah, for
only
sure.
play absolute premiums.
Oh, we're actually seeing a bit of action here. Under the Gun +2 has raised up to 12k, followed by Hijack. Ferreira has raised once again, 3-betting to 30k. And now Cutoff has a bit of a decision to make here with Ace Queen suited. A very pretty hand.
With 120k, I think I'm just shipping it. 20 bigs. Calling with Ace Queen here, committing 25% of your stack. This gets a bit scary. And especially like if you call and King 7 comes over the top, we know that that's not going to happen. But let's say Jaw William does come over the top. Are you then forced to fold? Does make a 4-bet, but to 51. Surprising, no?
Yeah, I thought it was going to just be shoving it in
Yeah.
over with the stack he's got over, you know, that 30k raise. But yeah, I decided to 4-bet.
I
mean,
this
he's
is
4-bet.
annoying for Ferreira, right? Because if he
Yeah.
would have gone all in, Ferreira can easily get away. But
Right.
how are you going to 3-bet to 30k? Now you have to fold to an additional 21k when there would be 130 in the middle. Like, you can't. But you also know you're never ahead here with ace-10 offsuit. Never.
it's actually pretty funny because he's making his hand actually look a lot stronger than just ace queen here by doing what he's doing, right? He's like turning his hand into like pocket aces, you know?
Is he folding? Have ace 10? Man, for the
He
20,
folds.
for
Yeah.
21k.
21k, yeah. No.
Honestly, even if I know that I'm kind of crushed, I think I see a flop. You're getting 6 to 1. 6 to 1 on 21k.
No, for Ferreira, he's opted to fold, and that brings one of the shorter stacks up to a pretty healthy 30 big blinds, I think, right now.
He must have put him like exclusively on aces in his mind. And I feel otherwise, like you have to call
Yeah,
that.
no, that 4-bet actually makes his hand look way stronger than ace queen there. Yeah, no.
It's like 3 extra blinds. There are very few hands that if I have 23 big blinds, that I won't pay 3 big blinds for to play for 130k. If there is already 109 in the middle. 21. Gladly toss it in.
Very scary.
There's obviously like some horror scenarios where if the flop then does come ace 5-5, ace 5 deuce, ace 8-5, like yeah, you're going to lose even more.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's very likely your opponent has a better ace, but they can also have queens, they can also have kings. They can just have ace king. Only against aces are you like in all sorts of trouble. And he must have exclusively put him on aces.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He made his hand, you know, like look like he's playing aces there, right? Like it's crazy. Jacks now for Jar Williams under the gun.
So the real question of the day: did you talk to
Jiggity.
Randy about the pocket jiggities?
No, I actually didn't ask him about jiggities. I've never heard Randy ever in my life say the word jiggity.
Oh, we're gonna get a real pot here. With the jiggities versus ace king offsuit. I mean, it's definitely maybe a bit of an American poker thing because that's obviously I think where Brett Owen
Yeah.
is most popular.
Yeah, I
That's
think
where he
so,
does all the
right.
meetup games. So
Okay.
that's like really a thing
yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
scene.
Because he usually covers like the WSOP and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
right?
he's basically going through all the card rooms over in North America.
Oh,
Very
okay.
often in the lodge in Texas.
Oh, I see.
But
yeah.
he also does like meetup games in
Yeah.
Florida, in North, South Dakota, anywhere he can go. There are meetup games. So I promise you, I did not make that one up. I do think that Randy will absolutely know about it.
Yeah,
Like
I'll
he
ask
may
him.
not
Yeah,
ever
I'll
use
ask
it.
him.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, we've got pocket tens in the mix as well.
Yeah, and once again, I think Zhu Jingxuan actually has the worst hand. You know, he really needs a lot of help here if pocket jacks comes along. But Jar William right now has a tough decision to make.
But he's got no choice at all, right? He's got 49k. Big blind is 8k. You've got pocket tens. Like, that's an absolute no-brainer. You're always going to go for it. I think with the jacks, you always go for it as well. I always think of Doc Polk, who said, it's a cold day in hell before I fold pocket jacks pre-flop. And those are words that I do live by. So we've got a monster pot here in day 1C, the main event, obviously early in a stretch of many days of tournament poker. But this is a big one. This is one that Ferrero would absolutely love to win. Ace, a king. Well, by the way, some help for tens. So far, no more help for tens. A 10 and 10 only. It's the jacks, the jiggities
Jacks
that
hold.
hold. The double KO. Jar William. No, by far and away the biggest stack. Fortunately for Ferreira, his main event will end here. But he can try again in one of the other flights.
Yep, one more flight to enter, 1D, and we see that we've lost 2 players now on this feature table. Looks like we've
We
got
don't
some
have
balancing
much.
to do.
We don't have much of a future table left. There's like 4 people left. There's like floor, open seat, open seat, open seat. I mean, I can't really blame anyone there, right? The tens, when you're down to whatever it was, 6 big blinds, obviously you're always calling, shoving, whatever. I think pocket tens way too good to ever get away there when you're that short. And ace king, Ferreira probably feels like these are just the hands that you need to win. If
It
you want to
plays
have
itself, you know, ace king. Like in these kind of tournaments, you're not folding ace king pre. Like if you run into aces or kings, you know, bad luck. But yeah, you're not folding.
AA Poker, your first choice of
Very,
home
very
game.
unique
A high-end
scenarios,
social and
all
competitive
very deep, and
platform
it's an
originated
underdog
from
open
Australia.
and a
It has
3-bet
been
and
launched
a
in over
4-bet and a
115
4-bet
countries
and a 4-bet
worldwide.
and some-
Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best, the richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best, the richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best, the richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform.
Back with a full table and a few new faces in the mix.
So we used our 4 minutes to find 4 new players. And we're back to all-inning immediately with Poker 10s. Poor production has not been able to fill in the names yet. And we're already going for it. Got Queen 9, an ace-9 shove from the button and a small blind wakes up with pocket tens, but is that a 6k?
It is 6k,
Oh.
less than one big blind.
Well, chip and a chair is the saying in the world of poker for a reason. This could be the start of a magical run. You win this, you're probably up to like at least 3, maybe close to 4 big blinds.
Yeah, so here Joe Williams holding Queen 9 of clubs, and you know, the guy on the button shoved with 10 big blinds, so easy mark for him.
I mean, that's actually kind of an important hand for ace-9 as well, because 32 big blinds, or 32k, around 4 big blinds. It does matter to him as well, or exactly 4 big blinds. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot either. He's working with
No,
10, so going
yeah.
from 10 to 14, 15, that feels mega.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
very good. Wow,
It's gonna
here's
be
a 10.
It's going to be very difficult. An ace, and an ace only. That would have been sick as well, the runner ace. But it is a 10s with a full house. That will technically get the triple up, almost the quadruple up. We went from 6k to Lord knows how many chips after this hand, but it's gonna be good. I want this to be the start of a magical run, Selena.
Yeah, it'll be a fun journey to follow. We all like an underdog story, don't we?
I just love miraculous stories.
Yeah.
Because you also know that that would be an immediate lifetime memory. Like, I'm not saying that he has to win the event from here, but if you spin this up while being on the future table, maybe one of the first times ever he's on a future table. I have no idea how many times he's played live poker. You're down to less than 1 big blind. You basically quadruple up a hand. Later on, you spin it up again. Like, just think already of the content that you can make out of that. You know, that's just fun lifetime memories.
For sure. A bedtime story for the grandkids.
And that's the kind of stuff that people will remember for a very long time. I still remember how my Jack 10 beat Torres pocket 9s. Like, I'll never forget that. And that was just a flip. So imagine running it up from 1 big blind.
We have Jin Bo Xin here on the hijack, raising it up to 18k, and Cui Kai here has a 32k stack, so it makes it a really easy shove for him here with the ace jack suited.
That's the man, by the way, who just quadrupled up. He went from 6k to 32k.
Oh, here we go. Here
now
we
he's
go.
got a name. Earlier he was
Yeah.
listed as 6-6, but now he's
Right.
got a name.
He's got a name. And then the big blind, a small blind here, has ace 5 suited, but I don't know if you can really do much here with those kind of action in front of you.
I mean, he could think that maybe if he all-ins that the original raiser will fold, and then he only has to worry about the 32k, but he's not going to get that creative. The chip leader is going to get out of the way as well, so it will come down to ace-6 against ace-jack. That chip and a chair story is becoming more and more likely here.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance that after this, if he wins this, is he really going to
he's
be
just going to be close to having 10 big blinds.
at over 10, right? Because 8k,
Yeah.
he'll have 84.
So far, so good for the ace jack.
Mm-hmm.
Turning that flush drawn as well. And ace
Nice.
jack holds.
Totally
Very
safe.
nice.
From 6k to 84k, no longer the shortest stack at the table. It's definitely not 11 big, well, technically it is, with 10.5 big blinds, because it's 8k for a big blind. From less than 1 to 10.5 in 2 hands. There's our story, Selena.
Yeah, all smiles for Cui Kai. Running it up on this table.
The names are not getting any easier. I was
No,
kinda
no,
hoping-
that's a tough one. Yeah, that's one that would just trip you out, you know. That's one that Randy would be like, so how do you pronounce this?
And Randy is lucky. He's just commentating the Europeans and Americans.
Oh no, there's some Chinese guys in the mix over there.
Yeah, I know.
This event, the fact that it happens at the same time, and then some of the tournaments here with bigger buy-ins, it's actually a good one to to actually go for, just because all the best poker players normally playing big buyings across the world.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's the reason why a couple of the Europeans and Americans came over, but I am sure there are a lot of very strong Asian players as well. Not every strong player is known, right? You don't have to be you don't have to have a big presence on social media to be a good poker player. There's a good chance that a few of these guys are just not normally in the spotlight, but are actually incredibly competitive.
For sure.
And I can't really think of a lot of poker players that sign up with the idea of like, I'm here to just give away some money. Everybody wants to have a run. The moment you enter, you want to have a bit of a run, whether that's for some people finishing in the money just to have a story, or for some people to add a trophy to their collection. But it's never easy. Winning a poker tournament is always difficult.
Now we're seeing a small blind, big blind hand here. A simple calling pre-flop, big blind checks, and bringing us to an ace, king, 6. And it should be just anybody who's willing to take a stab should just win the pot right here now. And there we go. Ja William.
I'm just invested in the story of Kai at this point. Kai went from 1 or less than 1 to 11. I want to see the next hand that Kai gets involved in. As long as they don't move him away from the future table. Because at that point, unfortunately, you're going to be on your own, Selena. I'm going to walk into the pit. I'm going to rail him. I'm just going to stand behind him. And
yeah, you're going to follow that guy's journey very closely.
It's going to be like, what the hell is this weirdo doing behind me with his phone aimed towards me all this time? Sorry, mate. We got a story over here. Have you felt any of these tournament poker chips? Because I'm always curious how they feel, because all tournaments feel different.
They do feel different, yes.
Across casinos as well, the regular table game chips feel different, and they often have separate poker chips for table games, which I believe is the case here as well. I took a little look at the poker room yesterday, and they were flipping chips that looked very different than the ones that you use over here at the table games.
For sure.
I just want to know, are they heavy? Are they light? Do they make a nice sound?
Yeah.
Are they clean? What I have done as well is very silly, but when you go to Las Vegas and you go to across different casinos, they often have a $1 chip, and I really like collecting those. Just from every single casino at the Strip, like I play a couple of games and then I pocket a $1 chip and I bring it home so you have a little collection.
Can you imagine how much the casinos have made from everybody keeping some of those chips as a souvenir?
Well, so
obviously never gets cashed in, right?
But you also have people that just have crazy nights and have no idea where they're leaving $1,000 chips, right? Like that is a thing.
That is a thing, yeah.
People who put on jeans they haven't been wearing for a couple of years, and they're like, whoa, what the hell is that? Where did that come from? Well, yeah, they'll definitely make some money from people collecting the chips as souvenirs.
It's like people buying gift cards and forgetting about them,
Got an ace-jack all in for a little less than 20 big blinds. And Ja William, the chip leader of the table, who opened, is going to let go of his king-queen. Can't blame him for it. It's just a little too much, and very often you're going to be absolutely dominated by the ace-king, by the ace-queen. Hey, we have Zheng Yang back, by the way. There's a mosquito flying around.
A mosquito?
A tiny one.
No.
Are you allergic?
Mosquito.
Yeah.
Well, they love me. That's the problem.
They love me as well. And when I was in Japan, there were some absolutely humongous insects flying around right in front of the hotel.
Oh,
they were like the biggest. I have no idea what they were, but if I say that they were the size, like the 10x bigger than a regular wasp in the Netherlands. But the Japanese folks, they were very chill. Like there was a little smoking area. They just stood there, and I'm like ducking and diving and running.
Maybe it was a dragonfly?
No, they weren't dragonfly because they were very thick and dark, brown.
Okay.
And they were kind of hovering in one place. Like think a bumblebee, but twice the size. And I'm like ducking and diving, and the Japanese folks are kind of laughing at me, like, look at that weirdo. I'm like, you guys don't see these things? Like, what is this? Yeah.
Well, they probably know it's probably harmless.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about wasps, I actually got stung by one like 3 weeks ago.
Ugh, I hate wasps.
Yeah, I had to take a week off pickleball.
Why? Was it on your feet or where
yes,
was
between my toes.
Ah.
I know, it was like a terrible spot. And it's one where like it's unbelievably uncomfortable. Like I much prefer, say, on my leg or my thigh, whatever, right? Yeah. But on your toes, it's very sensitive. You know, your fingers in your toes, getting a wasp bite there, it's not fun at all.
I'm very excited to play Padel with you and Randy once. I really hope that we can find ourselves in the same area and we can go for a Padel session.
That would be fun.
I
He
think-
says Patel would be actually more physically tiring, isn't it?
A tiny bit, but you
Yeah.
guys are both, I think, totally fine in that regard. If I can play Padel, then you guys can definitely play Padel. And I think
Okay.
you guys would really love it. You'll pick it up like
Yeah.
literally within minutes, and you'll be
Right.
like, "Oh,
Like,
this
yeah,
is
this
fun."
is cool.
Yeah, 100%.
We actually, a year ago, we both did not play any form of racket sport. And we found pickleball. And it was just like...
I was the same. I've
Yeah.
never played racket
Oh,
sports in my life. Yeah, I
alright.
meant like an hour of badminton and
yeah.
tennis against the wall when I was a 10-year-old kid.
Right,
but
right.
basically, when I first played Padel, like my first hour was to give you an idea of how bad I was. And when the ball was coming, and I thought this was a really good idea to smash it, but I had zero ball control, zero racket control. So I smashed the racket into the inside of my own knee, and it's like a very sensitive spot. I was like, oh. So I was laying on the floor, and they're like, oh, and my friends were bullying me. They're like, oh my God, he left his computer, and look at this, what's happening over here. And they took a picture of me laying on the ground because I had so much pain. That became the face of the WhatsApp group, you know, like. I'm glad you find joy in this. But I didn't let it discourage me. As soon as the pain was over, I continued playing, and I was like, this sport seems fun.
Yeah.
And then, like, within a couple weeks, I started picking it up. And I'm definitely not good, but it's just a really fun outdoor activity. It's fun to rally.
Don't need to be good. It's all that matters is just have fun. You know, everything's about having fun. When you get older, you sometimes do forget to have fun. And I
Absolutely.
think it's really important, right? You know, you get to an age where you're like, I need to be adulting. And once you start adulting all the time, you do really forget about having fun.
No, it's also just because the lifestyle leans towards sitting a lot, because we have a lot of entertainment these days on our phone. We can always sit. You can watch TV. You can always sit. You're playing poker online. You're sitting. I'm playing video games. You're sitting. You're playing poker in a casino. You're sitting. There's just not enough mobility. So that's why finding any sort of racket sport, no matter how bad you are, is
Yeah.
a good idea.
It is.
Got an ace-3 all in, but we see our men wake up with kings, and that's obviously a very easy call. Kings in the big blind with an all-in before. The all-in is a little over 6 big blinds.
Oh, no.
Somehow
look at
finds
that.
the ace and the wheel draw. So with a deuce, we lock it up immediately. Oh, my goodness.
You know, the past 2 days, we've seen kings hold up almost every
Yeah,
time, and that has not changed here. Even though on the flop, it was... You know, was outdrawn, but yeah, like no.
Kings
King
are
got
goated.
there on the river.
The kings are goated over here at the
holding.
landing resort in Jeju. And also the three ways and the four ways, right? It's not just that kings hold against under pairs or they hold against like ace whatever, but they've also been holding in 3-4-way all-ins. I've noticed the same. Kings have just not lost. But what I pointed out to Johan earlier, and I know this is like the ultimate fish commentary of the century, because it doesn't matter. But it's just like I always keep track of little things. It's like in 12 hours of watching Future Table, I've seen aces one time.
Oh yes, you're right about that. We've seen kings numerous times.
We've seen kings like 8, 9, 10 times at this
Yeah.
point, legit. And I've seen one set of aces, the man raised, everybody folded. But that's I mean, it doesn't matter, and it's obviously just a thing in poker. Some days you're going to see a lot of hands, but just somehow we don't see any aces. I've seen more aces for the house at 3-card poker than I've seen at these future tables where there's 8 humans playing. And it's very difficult to beat aces sitting there, I'll tell you that much. It's hard to make any pair in 3-card poker. When you only have 3 cards, it's hard to make a pair.
I mean, it's hard to make a hand with 7 cards at times, you know?
Absolutely. That's why we see the hero calls, right? Ace
Exactly.
high, king high, queen high from time to time. It's rare, but... People keep waking up with hands, right? In the small blind and big blind, they keep finding what they are looking for.
And this is your guy. Now shoving in with the ace-jack.
You're right.
Oh,
And the under the
it's-
gun raiser is gonna let it go. I think he No, he called?
No, I think... Oh, he called, yes.
Wow. That
Ja
looked-
William, he's like, oh, you know what? It's only 8.4 big blinds. I call.
Okay.
So,
So far, Asia looking good. I really hope it holds, because that would be one hell of a story. The man who was down to less than one big blind. And look at him now.
Wow.
That is 183k. He has gone from 6k to 183k in give or take 12 hands. That's an amazing story.
Wow, that is pretty cool. Anything can happen in poker.
Chip and a chair. If anyone needs any motivation for their online session tonight, let this man inspire you.
Never give up.
It is
Yeah.
never over. His last name is Kai, right? Or it's Shai? I think it said Kai. Because I think his first name is very difficult to
Cui,
pronounce.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kai.
I'm going to stay away from that one. But Kai
Kai.
is doable. I like how John William gave him... That looked to me like he showed King 6 as a fold. But yeah, I guess in his mind, it's like, I'm the chip leader at the table. 8 big blinds. I've got a suited king.
You know, I've raised up already.
Yeah.
You know, to
I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing ever if you've got enough chips. It's just like the way that he turned his cards over, to me, it just kind of felt like that man is folding at this point.
Yeah, so we're going to a brief break here for about 6
AA
minutes.
Poker,
So
your first
don't go
choice of
anywhere,
home
we'll be
game.
right back.
A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Greenshout, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform.
Button jams for 10 bigs.
AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Greenshout, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform.
This is why you own one.
AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Greenshout, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face to face with good friends. With rich events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live and stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shout, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face to face with good friends. With rich events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second day over here at the Lord Poker Tournament Series. Brought to you guys by AA Poker, as we have swapped in and out a couple of new players. We're taking a look at our chip leader, Ja William, who apparently has woken up with Ace King under the gun as well as chip leader. Things ain't fair. It's gonna be nice if you're known as the guy who's already the most active player on the table, who's raising a lot because you are the chip leader, but then you also find Ace King under the gun. That's nice because there's a good chance they're going to fight back a little bit, right? People have picked up on the fact that Ja William is playing a lot of hands. He just called off with King 6. So, the perfect moment to find Ace King.
Going for a 2 big blind raise to 20,000.
Seems like no one has anything. It's a little unfortunate. Probably hoping for a little bit more there. You've been this active and raised this many hands, and now you actually have it, and then you face no resistance at all. It's like, kind of hoping for a little more there then. Everyone folding, but he does pick up the blinds and the antes. Only 23 players left, by the way. 23 players out of 210. That is very few. Means we're probably down to 3 tables at the moment. I guess that's why we took a little break as well, just filling up all 3 tables properly.
Exactly. And usually they go for a bit of a redraw when it gets down to 3 tables and 2 tables, so forth.
I mean, I think it's 3 tables now, right? 3 times 8, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Is it always 8 players at a table?
No, 9. I think.
True.
But in this, yes, it is always 8 players because I believe it says 8-handed.
Yeah, for all of it. I was wondering if that was
Yeah.
just for the free roll, but that's for the entire series.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I keep seeing 8-handed a lot. It could be for a lot of the tournaments. Yeah.
I mean, I do like that. Find 8 players nice. Ja William just keeps on finding hands. This time it is pocket 7s. We had a raise from the cutoff. Queen 8. The 7s will just jam. Jeez. No respect at all for the man with 12 big blinds. And he's going to have to let go of the Queen 8. Oh, William is flying. Winning hand after hand. Zhang Fang Yu. New player at the table. Similar to Fang Xin that we saw yesterday, but not the same player. How familiar are you with the AA Poker app, Selena?
I downloaded it yesterday.
Okay.
I had a look around. It's one where you can make up your own like home game club,
Mm-hmm.
and if you got like an ID, you can join. It actually shows you in real time, what's happening offline as well in these poker tournaments. So, yeah, it's pretty good to keep an eye on your friend or whatever who happens to be in Jeju playing.
That's fun. So you can keep an eye on Shi Cha Ching, see if he's once
Yeah,
more
I-
being a menace.
I mean, I can imagine him jumping straight into like this event here, and
One big blind man has now found queens in the cutoff.
on fire.
He's on 16 big blinds starting this hand, as the blinds obviously recently have gone up, but there's a really good chance that he's going to get everything here. As we had an under the gun open to 35k, very big race by the way, the UTG Open.
That's a close one.
That's 3.5 big blinds with ace 10 suited under the gun. I mean, that just makes it so easy. That is a very tiny 3-bet. What is this sizing, Selena? UTG makes it 3.5 big blinds, and then we have a 3-bet for 2.5 extra. Safe to say that's a little unique.
It is definitely on the small side. I mean, ace 10, especially when suited, might with his stack size behind, he might come in for, for a looky look, and then
A little
Yeah, his-
annoying. I think if you have
it
queens
is,
here,
yeah.
there's a king, but he's still in the lead, and I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
no.
Ooh,
Oh, wait. So ace 10 just shoved?
yep, open shove.
Wow.
It's very annoying for queens, but you have 10 big blinds, and there are 37 big blinds in the middle.
Yeah, that is some aggressive poker, that's for sure.
That's the man who was down to 1 big blind. I think he throws in a time bank. I hope he finds the call, because it would be such a good story. Going from 6,000 chips to potentially, this would be an insane amount, almost 600k.
Yeah, he has to really break down in this spot what his what his opponent's shoving here with, and a lot of the times, if you look up these spots, you're gonna find that they're doing it with drawing hands.
Oh no, he folds the queens.
Yeah, no, I mean on that board with a king,
Yeah.
jack, 4 spade, there's gonna be so many hands that shove without making a pair. I
what a
really, really think he should have thought about it a little bit longer and kind of be able to break down. Because there are hands where if he hit and he hit big and he has you beat, those hands are gonna probably bet instead of just shoving. No, and when he shoves, it really looks like he's like, yeah, just fold. Like I want you out of this hand. I just want to take down the pot right here and then. So yeah, I think I personally would be able to find a call there, but
It's very unfortunate, but it also goes back to the pre-flop action, right? If somebody opens up with a
Yeah.
3.5 big blinds under the gun,
yeah.
why are we making it 6 big blinds? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
such
mean,
a-
it's weird because is he kind of thinking, well, if this player's raising under the gun with this, with whatever hand he's holding, and I 3-bet him, and if he does happen to have aces and kings and come over the top, is he preparing to fold? Is that why he did it with queens?
There's
you
no
know?
way we're folding
Right.
queens
So
pre-flop.
what is he hoping for? Right.
Some
like
extra chips to then have a very clean flop and then get it all, I guess. Like, I guess, it's weird. I'm
It is,
I'm
yeah.
definitely not defending the play, 'cause I
Right,
don't like it
yeah.
at all. But I think that's the logic there, where he's like, I'm going to raise very small,
Mm-hmm.
so he sticks around, and then any flop that looks good to me, I'm going to get it all, because
get
now he
any,
feels
yeah.
he already is spot committed. I guess that's the thought process. and obviously it's not the right way to go about it. I wish he would have just jammed all in pre, because with that raising, even if he folds, you have already picked up 35k and the blinds, which is mega. And I mean, like, that flop is obviously hell, right? Because if you think, okay, my opponent, he's mega strong.
Yeah.
Because he opened 3.5 big blinds under the gun. What are the hands he could have? Ace, king, beats me. Aces, beats me. Kings, beats me.
Yeah.
Jacks, beats me. Tens, beats me. Like, it is my... well, tens, I guess, wouldn't beat him on that board. But but jacks, ace, king, aces, there's a lot of hands that do beat him. And at that point, you're like, I'm only beating ace, jack, and ace 10, or... Like, even against king, queen, you're obviously drawing mega thin. Oh, unfortunate. We had such a good story going over here, Selena. Why?
Well, he's still in contention. He's
That's
not
true.
out yet, you know.
No, that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, a bit of pocket queens wasted.
We should have been at 48 big blinds.
Yeah,
That is the
yeah,
story. Now instead we're at 10. Yeah, we're still
Back
in,
to
but
10.
48 or 10 is a night and day difference, especially because once more, I don't know if this is going to be a theme throughout the entire Lord Poker Tournament series, but stacks seem to be shallow. Blinds are going up real quick. They love the action over here.
They do. You know, it's one of those events where you have a bigger field and the blind levels are going to go up quite quickly. I can imagine, you know, later in the week where we come across, where we have that 15k USD buying main event, which is part of, you know, the higher buying series, you're going to see slower levels for sure.
I personally would love to play events like this. Like, it's obviously not a hyper turbo where there's no playability at all, but stuff is happening, right? People have to get involved. People have to make moves. I am a fan of these kinds of formats for sure. I also think it makes it fun for us to watch. As much as obviously the leveling and the deep mind games and the crazy bluffing that is possible with 150, 200 big blinds is also very cool. But I think that at this point, when there's 23 players left of 210, I think it's kind of cool that everyone has to stay a little active. And it's also such a golden opportunity for the big stacks to get even richer.
Yeah.
Oh, such a shame he played the queens the way he did. It's funny because we can see 9 hands in a row that all play out the way that we are used to hands playing out when we watch pros, semi-pros play at these future tables. And then there is the one hand that is just like, what is happening? What is this 3.5x raise under the gun? What is the absolute min raise with queens? And now we're folding queens. The fold, understandable. Yeah, it's just pain though. But you're right. I do think if he takes even more time, he might just think, like, you know what? Statistically, I only need to be right here 1 out of 4 times. And if he really does have me crushed, would he be that eager to just dunk back all in into me? Like, I'm the original 3-better. Like, you're supposed to check in flow, and then you can always come over the top.
Yeah, because you want to be thinking about how to extract that value from your player, your opponent, rather than push him off the hand. Right? So...
And it's like, if this guy really wants me to go, and he's sitting here with a set of jacks, or he's sitting here with ace-king, like, top, or even aces, right? Maybe maybe there is a meta game going on in this event that if people have aces, they raise 3.5x. Because the one time I've seen aces, that was a very big raise as well, right?
That's right. Those big pocket pairs, I've seen them make it really big with a pre-flop.
No, Kai is back at the bottom. Still 98k, which definitely is a lot comparing that he was at 6k at one point when he found those pocket 10s. Bit of a shame. I believe Kai is the man there with the glasses and the green / peach looking shirt. What color is that? It's not cool.
It's a lime.
Lime.
Right?
Yeah, lime I like, yeah. Because it's definitely not teal, but I wouldn't quite qualify it as green either. I love this card protector, by the way. What do you think it is?
Socks. It looks like socks to me. Maybe it's a little lettuce, like a little lettuce plushie.
I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Yeah. Cabbage. Maybe a little cabbage plushie.
There are some very cute plushies made by a company called Jellycat.
Oh, yes, I've heard of Jellycat. They're famous. They're famous in the world. Yeah.
I have a lot of them. I have too many, actually.
You collect them?
Well, my girlfriend mostly collects them, but I
Okay,
like them a
okay,
lot as well. I
yeah,
think they're
yeah,
adorable.
yeah.
I've got a tennis ball. I've got a hockey puck. I've
Oh
got
my goodness.
dragons.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got chocolate milk. I've got
Okay.
lemonade, cherries.
All the food ones.
Yeah, no,
they're
there's so many.
adorable. Yeah. I actually recently read a like article about the founder, like the guy that invented and came up with Jellycat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a pretty cool story. Yeah.
I've got so many. I've got a big American football. I've got a rugby. The American football is really cute, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I love him. We've got a rugby. So all the sports ones and a couple vegetables, fruits, drinks.
Yeah, and they're well made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all adorable. Little snowball one. That's so funny.
You probably like just have a room dedicated
Yeah,
to
no,
yeah.
I mean, they're like on the top of the bed, but at this point we have too many. We've got
Mm-hmm.
one that's a sun as well. We've got the amusable stormy cloud. You know, that's funny.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
adorable.
a silly amount.
Yeah. So we're getting quite a bit of action now on the feature table. We're seeing a raise and a re-raise and a shove and a call.
Pocket nines against ace jack. A big flip here, as this is a very big pot. 493k in the middle. Who's going to win these almost 50 big blinds? I feel like the
Oh, wow.
percentages, that is one hell of a flop. I feel like the percentages are sometimes a little bit off. Like ace jack against nines should be very close, and it said it was 37%. Unless we somehow...
Oh yes, maybe it's counted some of the folder hands.
Yeah.
There is a chance.
So then everyone must have had an ace and a jack, right? Because that normally is a bit closer. Flop, king, king, king. The immediate full house, but obviously that's not very relevant to the nines. For the nines, there's only one thing that matters. No ace, no jack, and we're loving life. And there was no ace, no jack. Or, of course, if there's somehow a queen-queen run out as well, and they would chop the pot, but very unlikely. That would be an insane bad beat, by the way, for nines. If the board would somehow run out king, 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 queen, queen. Oh no, they're moving Kai. How are we going to follow the story, Selena? They have moved Kai.
Well, hopefully he makes the final table and comes back tomorrow. Oh no, it's not going to be tomorrow, is it? I think
Tournament
it's gonna be-
director
it's a
stepped in.
1D, yeah.
He saw him fold those queens and he's like, Kai, you're out of here. We gotta find someone else. I know, bring him back. I believe that's Ja William on the right. Chip leader at the table. It's been crushing. Seat 7 seems to be very happy and chatty.
It's always the big stacks, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Chips to play with, chips to see a flop with.
Makes poker a lot of fun. Down to 21 players, so I guess that's why they maybe moved Kai, but I don't think we ever had 9 here. They must have just busted a lot on the other tables. So we have gone to 7 players across the 3 tables that are currently running. Cheltenham actually has a few less chips than I thought. It's not even 30 big blinds. It's still a decent amount compared to everyone else, or at least most of the players at this table. I feel like they've made the names even smaller for a lot of players. This one is very easy to read, but the previous one, it's such a tiny font.
Yeah.
Maybe I can use my comp points for us to get a bigger TV.
Yeah, it depends if they have 2 characters or 3 characters in the name.
Yeah.
So
Yin on the button finds ace king offsuit. That's going to be very easy open, but he's actually just going to all out shove. And you know what? He might get called here by king jack. Because if I'm looking at king jack and I've got a very shallow stack, you're looking at 8 big blinds give or take, and the button is jamming. I'm like, I don't even think he wants to get called, but we did have a cutoff open, to be fair. So then the jam makes a lot of sense, and it obviously makes perfect sense that king jack gets out of the way. I didn't see that 9's already raised. Well, only playing 120k. I think you're gonna have to call here with the 9's,
yeah,
right?
definitely. Nice is just a little bit too strong. I can't see him. You know, I think here there's a chance if it's below 7s, you can find a fold.
Mhm.
But anything 7s or better, no, not folding. Yeah.
Especially because he just doesn't have a lot. It's not like, oh, if we fold, you know, we're going to be fine. You're down to 10 big blinds.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that he didn't just shove himself pre-flop there.
I believe that we are going to have a little caster rotation. Selena is going to get a well-deserved break. Play some pickleball perhaps somewhere in Jeju. Anything is possible. And I will be joined by Johan Merlo.
What's up, boss?
Welcome back, Mr. Merlo. And did we dominate those table games?
Yeah?
No, I don't know. I'm asking you.
Wait, what?
Well, maybe you got adventurous in the break. I don't know
No,
what
no,
you've been
no.
up to in the last 2
I was
hours.
sleeping.
Ah, okay.
Jet lag is one hell of a drug.
And that's the one thing that I cannot complain about. Those 4 extra days in Japan really helped me.
Well, you still have a messed up sleep schedule, but I guess
That is true.
It doesn't count as jet lag, right?
This socializing is tough business, Todd.
Yeah?
When you meet the Brazilians in Japan, you can go to bed at 1.
They party hard.
No, it wasn't too hard, but definitely, yeah. Like to be adventurous. Going for that midnight scroll. Stroll, rather. No scrolling on phones.
Actually, when I see like sometimes I watch the IRL streamers.
Yeah.
Like when they're over in Asia, like anywhere, South Korea, Japan. It makes me miss like those days. You know, like we were in South Korea once, and like when we went out, like at night, we know that culture. Like you go to 7-Eleven, grab a cheeky drink, and just stay out late until like 5, 6.
Yeah, no, that's the stuff that I also absolutely never do in the Netherlands, especially not in Zuidland where I live. Like, I'd be the only person out on the streets around that time. But if you're in these monstrous cities like Tokyo or Seoul, yeah, you can easily stay up all night. To be fair, that also goes, I think, for resorts like this, right? Where it's like bright, there is always some music. They like to keep you up at the casinos.
I feel like when we got here, it was kinda like, you know, quiet.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't too much going on, but right now it's buzzing. Like there's so many people, and it's not even weekend yet.
Well deserved.
All right, we got some all-ins, perhaps.
Queen 10 from the chip leader. As Ace 9 decided to have a bit of an adventurous open. Some gangster poker over here, Todd. That is over 20 big blinds that were jamming Queen 10 after the cutoff opened.
Yeah, rejam. Interesting. Most people, I think, would just call this. Building up some image, like setting up to get paid more later, perhaps.
Ja William has been very aggressive. He has been taking down a lot of pots without having to go to showdown. We just had a great story, by the way. I know you were taking a bit of a nap because you've had a very, very long journey getting here, and then on top of that, they lost your luggage. I'm so happy that I didn't have to deal with this for a long time, but I know how frustrating that can be. And that also just makes sleeping more annoying because you have more stuff to worry about and you just don't sleep like a baby. So I get it. But there was a man, Todd. He was down to 6,000 chippies when the big blind was 8,000, so less than a big blind. He quadrupled up. Then he got another double up. Then he got another double up. And he was so close to winning a monstrous spot with queens, but he made an incorrect fold on king, jack, whatever against ace 10. If he would have made that call, he would have been sitting at 47 big blinds after having less than 1 big blind literally 20 hands ago. It was so cool.
And then he busted?
No, he just got moved to another table,
okay.
But he was at 10 big blinds after the queen's hand. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. He cooked up, he really cooked up some sort of a master plan with the queens, with the tiniest 3-bet ever, and then it backfired when his opponent just dong jammed into him. With ace 10 on king, jack, 3 or 4, whatever it was. And another big hand here with Zhang Jiang, ace king.
Wait, what?
9's again.
Ace king folded?
Yep, ace king folded. They might
still
be
register for this?
They might be
what
very.
Is this Wadi playing?
Queen Jack in the big blind. Under the gun, Jerry. I don't know.
Is there a world where you can fold ace king here? For he was 10 bigs, right?
No, yeah. I mean, it's all in for 145k. I don't think there are many folds. We already saw a few questionable folds earlier. I saw Selena make a couple of very funny facial expressions as well.
I watched a bit of Flight B yesterday, and late at night, there were 9, I think, left, and it said on the TV they played down to 5. So it's like, if there are 21 here, you know, like, and you're short, yeah, you need to start shipping, you know, like.
Queen Jack somehow made the call, Todd. So Ace King, if that was correct, if there is no error in the reader, folded, but Queen Jack has found the call. And that is also a fair fight. Now obviously King in the window, right? It's a Jack in the window. Jack, Jack 8. To be fair, oh my goodness, quad Jack, second quads. I can't even call it daily quads, as we already had our quads earlier. Ace King plays like, that's why I folded. I knew it wasn't coming. He's like, who are these two little haters sitting over there in the commentary booth?
0.1 big blinds. For Zhang Fang. Oh, okay, this name is gonna give me some trouble. How did Selena say it?
Selena was also struggling with a few of these names, believe it or not. There were a couple out there that were hard to pronounce even for Selena. I don't think we're going.
Fangui.
I think it's more like Fang. That's what I do know. It's not Fan, but Fang. But Todd, I'm not going to correct you because you've got way more experience over in this part of the world than I do. Even though I did spend like 5 weeks in your apartment in Beijing too. I know you always talk about the times that I stayed 6 weeks in your very tiny apartment in Seoul, but also in Beijing I visited you for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, but I wasn't there, right, for some of it.
No, you weren't always there, but you were there most of the time.
Was I?
And I also wasn't there always because I traveled to 2 different events. I went to
that's
Chengdu.
why. So it doesn't feel like a proper month-long thing. Whereas Korea, it was a month in like a 5 square meter apartment. So this one you remember?
Yeah, no, but I also remember the Beijing one just because I thought it was a cool building. I thought you had a very nice apartment. And I think we had a really good time.
Yeah, that was the opposite of Korea.
Yeah. I recently tried to remember the name of that club that we always went to in Beijing. Mix, yeah, that's right. And did you have another one that was called, was it Vix?
Yeah, it's across across.
Mix and Vix. Yeah. You think they still exist?
I would guess so, but I'm not sure. Yeah, probably.
We have an all-in for 1K. Jack 6. All right, time to start a new story, by the way. The 6K story was not good enough. This man, after losing that all-in in the previous hand, is down to 1K. Start of a magical comeback, Todd.
Yeah, that's very small stack. Not bad a hand actually to have. If you're gonna have 0.1 big blinds, Jack 6 suited.
It's even less than that, right? It's less than a 0.1. It's rough. Ja William has been the driving force on this table. He's been the most action-packed player. He's been involved in most of the hands. He has very rarely gone to showdown, to be fair. He just takes a lot of it down pre or on the flop. Very rarely on later streets. Not a big 3-bet. King Jack just limped. Is that correct?
Yeah. Now 24K, so 2 more big blinds to call against the 3 big blinds open.
Might do it, right? I mean, it's
like such a huge part of his stack. With King Jack.
I think he's gone all in, by the way. Because the graphic already says 84K to call for ace 10. I think the graphics are a little bit ahead right now of what we're supposed to see. Because obviously we're commentating over a clean feed. That's 30 minutes in the past. But I think King Jack is shipping it. No, this is 24. Why does it say that Ja William has 84K to call?
Maybe it's because there's someone all in. So it's like it's glitching somebody else's.
Yeah. Or actually, maybe Zheng Yang is going to dunk bet on the flop. That would be a bad moment to dunk bet because he hasn't connected with this flop in a glorious way. Does have 1 diamond, and he's definitely not dunk backing. So that was just a glitch. No all-ins at all. Ja William. This flop is very good for him. He could go for a tiny bet, right? Try to keep King Jack around for a little bit longer. How about like 18 to 28K? I would not hate it. honestly, not the scariest flop that we've ever seen. Yeah, bets 18. I can live with it, Todd.
Yeah, but King Jack on this board. It's like,
I don't think he's gonna stick around now, but
yeah.
that doesn't take away from the correct bet sizing from
Yeah.
Ja William, right?
Well, actually, it did say 84k to call.
Yeah, it did say 84
Really, really jam though. I'm like, is he gonna try gangster play with no fold equity?
because then he would only be 66k to call, right?
All right, Zhang. It's your
Runner,
time.
runner, 5 or 9. 5, 9, 6, or a jack to keep the dream alive. Any other card, we're dead immediately. 5. Hey.
Ay, ay, ay.
Open ender. Ooh. Unfortunately, that 1,000 comeback chippy dream is dead. Over here at the Lord Poker Tournament, Day 1C. Have you heard about the different formats that they have for the different flights?
Yeah, yeah, I heard about it.
This is bizarre, no? Very, very unique.
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of makes everybody happy because everybody can pick their like specific formats, how deep they want to play for each flight.
It would make me mostly happy to just get into the same tournament for 500 that other people are paying 1,000 for. That would make me most happy.
Yeah, but you get a different structure. That's the thing.
Mhm.
You have to factor that in.
And also it's later, right? Like, so obviously if you're there early, you can bust and then you can try again. But very few people are going to start off at day 1D when they have to pay 2k if they've already busted
Yeah,
like
exactly.
three attempts. So it is like at least a bit punishing for the people who just want to keep on firing over and over again. That I like about it, but it just seems kind of extreme to have like a $500 buy-in and a 2k buy-in for the same tournament. It's legit first for me. I am very, very unfamiliar with that. Something I had to ask 3 times. I was like, wait, is this correct? They're like, yeah. It's like, but it's the same tourney? They're like, yeah. I was like, you get extra chips or something? Like, what are we doing? Ja William continues to be aggressive as he opens things up with ace-6. We've got a short stack all in. It is the 6 big blinds to be precise. Kings once more. And Selena also pointed out that we legit haven't seen kings lose yet. Seen a lot of pocket kings. They are not doing a lot of
Yeah,
losing.
which is weird because usually, especially against those raggedy aces, you'll often see a random ace pop up. I have a friend that plays cash in Vegas. He always rants a whole lot about kings, like being the cursed hands, because it feels like he's always losing pots with it.
Well, let's see if the Kings, the Cowboys, continue to be incredibly strong over here at the Lord Poker Tournament. Day 2, main event, flight 1C, to be very precise. Kings continue to be mega as we casually spike a king top set and we wrap it up already on the turn, and no river can save a6. Maybe your friend needs to play some kings over here in Jeju. Tom.
Yeah, apparently in Jeju, they just don't lose. 18 players left in the field. We played down to how many, do you know?
No, but if you say yesterday it was 5, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5, because I do imagine that the idea is that this broadcast goes on for a little while longer.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to quit at 18. Perhaps it's like 9 or 8, but what would a final table really mean? So if you say yesterday it was 5, I think it's very possible that we're going to play down to 5 again here.
Yeah, that was cool, by the way. Like just on the screen, it said plays down to 5 because I was trying to figure out like what was happening, how long they would play. But yeah, they were 9 at the time. Everybody was chatting a lot actually at the table yesterday.
Yeah.
That I watched. Yeah, it wasn't like a feature table. I feel like maybe the feature table makes people less likely because they're mic'd up to talk as much. But on that table, it was just constant chatter.
Yeah. I mean, people tend to get nervous, right? Obviously, for some people, this is just another day at the office. But for a lot of other people, sitting in the spotlight, cameras pointed at you, microphone wires, it just freezes some folks up a little bit. And the more they are in this position, the more they get used to it. But that really is a thing.
There's a coverage site here. Like yesterday, I saw some of these guys with the shirts outfits. So I'm trying to check it to see if it says down to how many they play, but I can't find it.
Jin Boxin finds ace-6 of diamonds in the big blind. I wouldn't hate a defend here. Has a little less than 20 big blinds to start the hand with. But he is going to toss in the extra big blind. Why not? Bit of an adventurous race, by the way, Todd. Plus, what is that? Plus on 2 under the gun. Sorry, the TV is too far away. Might be plus 1 UTG. And it's 10-5 suited. That is an opening.
Yeah, +1. Song Yong Kyu?
Yeah, song sounds right.
Flop some backdoor draws. It's gonna be 16k. Jin Boxin with third pair. Against small bet, you can't really go anywhere here. He's gonna make the call.
Also has the diamonds, right? The backdoor diamonds.
Ooh,
Or
there
you
it
just
is.
casually find a third 6.
Well, didn't need that, to be honest. Like, he was already winning, but when you have third pair, like, you don't know where you're at.
No.
Now he's definitely winning in his mind.
I would say definitely needed that, because if he has to face 2 more streets of aggression and he does not improve, I think it's very, very tough he's ever going to find a call. On the turn it'd already be tough, but the river would be even tougher, so the 6 wraps it up. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Flight A apparently played down to 4 players,
Okay.
and then Flight B to 5. And there's
C
a
to 6.
player, I saw a clip earlier of this player called Martin Sedlak, and he won, I think it might have been a flip.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he won a recent WPT Cambodia warm-up tournament. So perhaps a live pro traveling around Asia playing these tournaments.
Song Young bets a 65k while drawing dead. Thought he's got no backdoor draws, he's got no outs, absolutely nothing, nada. And Jin cannot believe his luck, because you said he didn't really need the 6. Statistically, he didn't. But I think this would have been an incredibly difficult call to make, right? If that turn is a queen, a jack, a 10, anything that's not a6 or an ace, I think it's an incredibly difficult call to make. Now it's the easiest call of his life. And he's just faking it a little bit. He's like, whew, this guy really wants to give me all his chips, eh? This is tough, this is tough. It is so many chips. A little bit of Hollywooding, but Todd. Oh my god.
Hey, if somebody throws a time bank out there, I'm just folding range.
Oh, I love it. I love the way he flicked it in. That's so good. He's like, man, what a spot. My tournament live on the line. Final 18 of 210 runners.
I just hope he doesn't jam.
Nah,
Because you really remove any opportunity from somebody to bluff. We're just going to make the call. A crying call.
It's like, please, man, don't bet on the river, okay? Like, whatever you do not bet on that river.
So sick.
Song Young could actually check it back, because he does have a very tiny bit of showdown value now, as he pairs his 5. There's also a record scratch moment, right? +1 UTG, 10-5 suited. You probably wonder how I got here. You're probably wondering. And he checked back, yeah. I love the cheeky smile.
Like, you threw in that second time back, I knew I was drawing that. I fold to 1 big blind on the river, sir. Well played.
That is fun. I do believe that we are going to head to a 15-minute break for all the players, because they've been playing for a long time non-stop. This table also seems to be very, very empty. And that means that we're going to get ready for a little commercial break. We'll be right back. If you guys are enjoying the show, please let your friends know. We have some exciting hours of poker to come here on the second day of the Lord Poker Tournament. Any final words, Todd?
No, we'll see you guys for after the break. Don't go anywhere.
AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most advanced, the richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rich events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rich events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rich events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. the richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live and stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live and stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform. AA Poker, your first choice of home game. A high-end social and competitive platform originated from Australia. It has been launched in over 115 countries worldwide. Enjoy the real poker table experience. Online live stream table with famous players. AA Poker Global Champion, the choice of top poker players. More than 30 game functions. We have the most and best. The richest customizable configuration and the best experience among all online matchmaking platforms to play. AA Green Shield, a world without thieves, safeguard the fairness and security of the poker game. Online live streaming tables are now available. Play poker face-to-face with good friends. With rate events, anyone could be a star. TLPT Global High Stakes Tournament. More free online games and satellites. Super trendy avatars and various AA exclusive experiences. Download and play now. Permanently free to use. Play with friends anytime and anywhere. Your first choice of home game. AA Poker, your first choice of online home game platform.
Welcome back, everyone, to day one, Flight C of the main event, where these guys have been playing poker for a solid 8+ hours at this point. We are nearing the end. Some even say that we potentially play down only to 16, but that would mean that 2 more players get eliminated, and that would be all he wrote for today. Honestly, thought I'm in the mood to watch a few more hands. We'll figure it out. It's been a little tough to.
And if there isn't, you'll create your own hands.
Oh yes, I will.
Somewhere out there, any of the games. There
are-
will be cards flying around regardless.
with poker terms as well. Whether it's with 3 or with 5 or with 9, who knows, Todd, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it for now. Just keep an eye on the action. We know there are a couple short stacks at this table as well. And we know that Ja Williams absolutely loves to get involved. And let's just continue the action.
It's pretty intense, yeah, because there is quite a few short stacks.
That is a
And-
power jam, by the way. That is a power
Yeah.
jam.
So Tai Wei Ju here, very, very short.
On the big blind.
Ace-5, pretty
Makes-
much committed in the spots and runs into a hand that he actually dominates.
Oh, but the 6 in the window is the absolute last thing you want to see here with ace-5. A 4 would also be good. Can we get a 4? There is no 4. There is no justice in this world.
That is sick.
The power jam of 6-5 gets rewarded. One hand after break. And yeah, kind of shrugs it off. What can I do? Not
So
a
that
whole
means
lot.
stone bubble here pretty much immediately.
If that information that we had earlier is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cast something else. So maybe there's something else running. I don't know. We'll just keep an eye on it. We'll figure it out. Well, we are down to 17. And this is just, of course, day 1 flight seat. It's a multi-day event. So nobody is going to lift any trophies tonight. But there is a chance that indeed with one more player busting, it would be over. And of course there's another table running as well. 2 tables even.
Yeah. I watched actually some hands.
Mhm.
So I was in the future.
I mean, if they're still
think-
playing in 30 minutes from now, like
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
like then I don't
Spoilers.
think. Then I don't think we'll be playing down to 16. I can imagine with how aggressive these guys are and how much they love to gamble that we're only
No,
playing.
but I asked Floorman.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said.
16 it is.
Actually, I don't remember if I asked about this. I asked about some other tournaments too, because there was the super high roller running,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think there are 4 on this one, and then there's already the trophy on the table.
Okay, so
But I
maybe,
do think it's 16. Yeah.
maybe you were watching that, or were you watching these guys?
Yeah, I was watching both.
Okay. And that was just now in the break.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be very impressed if they are still playing. It's
I
7.
think yeah, we'll see the hand that I watch, with,
Okay.
which involves Stephen Song, one of the more renowned players in the field here from USA. Has 1 bracelet, and I was just checking his results. He won EPT Barcelona last year for 1.2 mil, I think it was. He won a WPT. He has 1 bracelet, so this guy's been killing it, and he played a multi-way hand.
Very good.
It was
When is Mr. Merlot adding that bracelet to his collection?
the only bracelet I'm gonna get is the one I buy from a jewelry for myself on Christmas. But
It's gonna be
As
a big
far-
one though.
well, I already don't. Yeah, I don't play much tournaments. But even if I did, like, the chances to win one would be very low. I'm not good at tournaments. Or not great. It's very hard. Honestly, it's just like a non-stop changing format. I was talking about it with Selena.
It's an infinite amount of different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
No scenario is the same. There are always a few more chips, a few less chips.
I don't even think cash
Positioning.
is easy, but it's just like different.
It's consistent at least.
Yeah, if
To
you play
some
100
degree.
big blind, like obviously,
Yeah.
when you start playing deeper, it also becomes kind of complicated too.
Does seem like they're playing hand for hand.
Yeah, they
So,
are.
yeah.
Like the hand that I watched, basically everybody at the featured table was waiting for the other table to be done.
Absolutely a decent amount of ladies running deep in various events so far. Really cool to see. Obviously, I know it's not unique to this Lord Poker Tournament series. We see it in America happen quite often as well. But just sparks joy, Todd. In predominantly a male-dominated competition, sport, call it how you want it. Awesome to see a lot of ladies participating and also having good runs.
We need a winner. Yo-yo.
Yo-Yo is
Could have
a
been the
pretty
one.
baller. I like Yo-Yo.
Yeah, she was good.
I like Sanjaman as well, the 8-4 offsuit rejab. Play of the weekend. And that 10-3, to be honest.
Yeah, that 10-3 was... He deserved to win just based on that hand.
It was very gangster.
It's pretty sick though to do a flip when there is one guy that's shorter. I wonder if that spot was avoidable. Probably not. So we got a hand developing on the other table.
Yeah, but it's very hard to see who's doing what. I know there's a couple chips in the middle, but we have no idea what the guys are playing. I don't even know where the dealer button is. Maybe it's on the top right side of the table. Obviously, they've got time banks here as well. That is not a future table exclusive. So the guys can tank forever, they can stall forever, and on top of that, we are playing hand for hand. It is very nice that we get live footage from the side tables that are still running. That's very cool. Even if we have absolutely no idea who's working with what. This is where we can see why tournament poker is hard. With the whole cards up, it becomes a lot easier. It's crazy how that works.
Where's that eyesight of yours? That pilot eyesight?
The
Just
hawk
put the card
eyesight?
over here.
Oh, I have got no idea. I'm gonna say that it's between the two guys right here, right? Right and left. And the right guy folds, and that is probably the end of the hand. He did show, by the way. It looks like we are showing a premium pocket pair. At least 2 Broadway cards. Looked like it was 2 Broadway cards that we showed. Whether it was King, Queen. This guy is very lonely.
Everybody's following the hand at
Yeah.
the other table. He was obviously trying to make his opponent show his hand as well. Didn't work this time.
I like how this dealer, by the way, does not give a damn that people are not there. You guys want to get away from this table? You don't want to hang out with me? You want to watch side tables? That's fine. I'm going to deal.
Yeah, usually I think it's the floorman makes the announcement as soon as the hand is finished on the other table.
Yeah.
And it's obviously...
And everyone runs, trips
Yeah.
over each other.
It's not that far. Just a few steps away.
Zhang Yu, under the gun, Queen 10. Got a decent stack, but definitely not the biggest. Fold, tight fold, as we are relatively short-handed. And no Queen 10 offsuit is not a slam dunk. I love it kind of opening, but we are proper short-handed at the point. This is a 5 or 6-handed table. Don't hate opening from time to time with a Queen 10.
Song Yong Q, knowing
He's
it's the bubble.
He's smiling already. Is he just jam? No,
It's like a limp. Or a raise.
I think it's a race, to
small
be
chips,
honest.
yeah.
That's a big race, too. That is a big race. Blind versus blind. 5-3 offset. I feel like the small kind of gave it away, that he didn't really have it, thought. He's like, I'm going to do this blind against blind thing. And he lets go of a very deep sigh. As Ja Williams, one of the more aggressive players on this table, lets it go. 10-9. I think if it was a min race, honestly, he probably would have defended there. But the
Yeah.
race was so big that he's probably like, ah, it's not worth
Now
it.
there's 10-9. It might be meant to call here, even against a 3x open. But maybe he could tell that because it's the bubble, we're going to be more careful with one of the shorter stacks. And immediately as the hand concludes, they get up to go and watch
Yeah.
the one from the other table. Looks like.
This is going to be very tricky for us because there's going to be a lot of downtime. It seems like these guys are on the quickest side of things.
Well, if nobody has anything, right?
Yeah.
Then anything. Good.
It was good to see at least that we didn't give a walk. You know, the man was not afraid of Ja Williams. He was here to battle, even with 3-5 offsuit in the small blind. He says, "I ain't giving you a walk. I'm gonna raise."
How was the fried rice, by the way?
Solid. Honestly, I can't complain. All the food here that I've had so far, to be honest. I know I've been talking about visiting Jeju more often, moving to Jeju. I saw they're selling apartments start for 1 billion won, so my plan is hit the jackpot on 3 card and then I'm 1/5 there. Like 1 billion
Yeah,
won.
you get permanent residency, right?
Yeah.
If you buy. Yeah, that's what it says on the ad.
So, pick up an apartment. The only issue with that is that I think the food here is a little too good, and I'm already on the bigger side of things, but you put me in Jeju for 3 months. I am getting my steps in, to be fair, but I also think I would consume a fair amount of alcohol and way too many good meals. And we haven't even touched the Korean barbecue yet. which
Yeah,
obviously-
actually, I asked earlier where it's like a bit further. It's not the place right next to the convenience store.
Okay.
It's a bit further. There's 2 places apparently that have it. So maybe
Yeah,
tomorrow if you
But the first one that also has barbecue, like it
Yeah.
has the thing on top of
But
the
I think the
tables.
other 2 sounded more specialized,
Okay.
like what you would expect. If you want tomorrow, we can go.
Absolutely. I have very fond memories of going to Korea in the early days with you, seeing you cut all that meat. At one point, you're like, it would be nice if you could cook once. And then you watch me cook for 2 minutes and you're like, never mind.
I think I'm quite decent at
Yeah,
it.
you're good
so
at it.
often, Yeah, often I was the
Yeah.
dedicated one handling the meat.
No, absolutely. Thought I'd love to make fun of you if I can, but you're good at that stuff. Better than me. But I have to admit, though, as a Dutch person, it feels so odd to use scissors during a meal. Like, that's bizarre.
It's like so perfect though.
Yeah, it
Everything
works. Don't get me
exactly.
wrong. It works for a lot of these things. Otherwise, life is hell. But it's just such a bizarre experience if you've never done that before. And
Yeah.
I don't use a lot of scissors in my life. I like that jacket too, by the way. These guys got some game going on. Is that a golden piggy bank, by the way? This guy shows up with a good-looking jacket and a golden piggy bank. Found my new favorite. Gin boxing.
It's funny we say boxing, but
It's
it's
probably
probably like
Boshin.
yeah,
Bushin, I know. But I like
it's
boxing.
like ain't no boxing happening around here.
Call my name boxing one more time and I'll show you some boxing, mate. No, I figured it was Boshin, but this looks good as boxing. And you call him boxing as well. So that
Yeah,
made
at
me
first
happy.
I didn't realize.
You thought I was commentating some American dude. No, I figured it's probably Boshin. Boshin. We'll learn, Todd. Each and every single day we'll get a little better. The goal is by the 21st or the 22nd, a lot of these names are going to sound very natural. The thing is, though, like if you commentate the same guys for like an hour, 2 hours, then it already becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
But if they're swapping players in and out and it's the next like Ji Sha Ching, it's like, wait, what? Is that what's happening? And the first time I read it, it's like, Sha? You know, I don't even want to risk it. But we'll get there. We had Ferreira on the table earlier. Very
Yeah.
comfortable with that one, but
Yeah, I saw the hand.
Did he bust it?
No, he had like the king 4, and then somebody had a flush and made a big jam. He took a while to fold. It was a big rejam. You remember that hand?
Yeah,
Queen
was-
8 of hearts.
Was it? Yes, the runner hearts, right?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, I caught the hands like late, but I was trying to kind of piece it together myself and be like, I was thinking, how often would somebody do this with one single big heart? It's a very difficult call to make, though.
In PLO, 95% of the time. In No Limit, a little less. Especially when it's runners. Pocket 8s on the button for Zheng Yu. As Jin Boshin, with his good-looking jacket and his golden piggy bank, is staring down at Queen Deuce offsuit. A lot of hands are a defense here, but I'd be okay with this one, letting this one go, especially against the button opening. Sure, it is a button opening, but I would not be upset if he lets this one go. But maybe he feels he's got a post-flop edge, and he can make some magic happen.
Nope. Just lets it go, and wow, we show the 8s.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, he's like, mate, I'm not stealing your blinds, I promise. Like, we can be friends, you know. When it's my big blind, just remember that we can be friends. I did this with pocket 8s. I had no other choice. He's like, all right. I was about to call you down with Queen Deuce offsuit, mate.
I'm not stealing the blinds this time.
You're not much of a shower, right? You don't really like to show cards.
No, yeah, not much. But so occasionally I'll do a bluff, and then I'm like, okay, this one I have to show.
Yeah.
But then you need to get ready to get paid every time after that. We see Stephen Song. I think that's the hand
That you were watching?
I was talking about earlier, maybe.
I don't see you on the
Oh
road.
no, it's not. Never mind. No, I'm not trying to get in the frame, my man.
No. Thought you saw some good company there. So let's discuss the hands. Not sure what has been happening in this hand. Obviously, we jumped into the middle of it. Could be an open and a 3-bet and a shove, and now we are wondering whether or not we have to call. But it's very hard for me to say from here. Could just be a big raise. Could be some. I don't see a dealer button. Well, I do see His cards flying to the middle. Nobody's showing anything here. Apparently, he was also forced to use an additional time bank. Unlucky. Or he just threw in multiple time banks. That's possible as well. We have an all-in.
It's anti-sweat time
Yeah.
on the bubble.
The man in the beautiful blue hoodie does not look thrilled about this all-in.
Well, he's not in hand. You don't have cards.
Hey, I was actually, this man played, he was sitting down at the 3-card table with me, this man, in the white jacket.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I know who you're rooting for now.
He looked at me for 3 hands, and he's like, And I tried to talk to him, but I don't think he truly understood everything I said. I was like, it's very easy, you can join. He's like, oh, okay. Then he bet very big on the wrong box, and then he left the box that he's supposed to bet
Oh,
empty.
no.
So I flipped it for him, and he's like, oh, okay. Then he looked at his cards, and I was like, it's not much. But he saw me play. He's like, I play? I was like, if you believe the dealer has nothing, you can do it. He puts like 60k down, obviously in Korean won, to play the hand. First card received, the dealer is already ace, so he's mega dead. He looks at me, he gets up from the table and walks away. He's like, this game sucks, man. He looked a little confused. I mean, 3-card is one of these games that you just need to play like 3 or 4 hands and then you get it.
Yeah.
Back to our future table. Under the gun, Ja Williams. Again, William, that is. With Kingstot. The kings keep on coming and the kings keep on holding.
They're bound to get cracked eventually.
Yeah, you would say that. But to be fair, I've been waiting a day and a half for this at this point. Ace 8 does get mocked. Jack 10 on the button, suited as well of hearts, but unfortunately all forced to fold. Jack 10 on the button though. Honestly, I wouldn't have hated a call. I know every big blind is so valuable.
Yeah, the stacks are a little bit shallow.
Yeah.
Like there's not so much post-flop play. Like the pot will be so inflated already on the flop that you just always have a low SPR, so less incentive.
That is correct. Big blind does, however, come along as he is the one closing the action with 7-6 of diamonds. And the flop is Ace 3-9 with 2 spades. This is what Ja Williams think. Ja William, that is. I don't know why I keep calling him Williams. I just know so many athletes that are called Williams. I keep thinking about it. There's always an ace, isn't it? But then again, when the big blind comes along for the ride, there are some aces in their range for sure, but you can't necessarily put them on an ace.
Look at this double belly buster for
Yeah.
Song Hyun-kyu.
Every 8 and every 4. Old school term. Last check. He would obviously love to see that 5th card. Wow, King's check again. 7 does let Song Jung catch up a little. And at this point, he might even think that his 7 is good, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all if he checks. Because obviously there's a chance that Ja William opened up with King Queen suited, King Jack suited. Man, that was some passive kings, by the way. Check, 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 check,
Yeah.
check, check.
Not even a small bet, trying to get a call from like a 9.
Yeah.
How do you not bet that? Come on, man.
This man might have just been born with the rule. If there's an ace on the flop, I ain't putting in any chips with my kings. Like, maybe that's just his life motto. I thought this might be the hand you've been watching.
Yeah. Hey, this is the one. By the way, I don't know why, but it kind of irritates me when people lift their shirt above their throats.
Yeah?
So you don't see their carotid artery. Every time I see that, I'm like, come on, put the shirt down.
Not something I'm personally very bothered by, I have to admit. There's a lot of other things that do bother me.
There
Mostly
used to be a lot, I feel like.
tanking. I hate tanking.
Slow rolls? Oh, it's like semi-slow roll or like nit rolls.
Yeah.
People that take a while to show their cards when it's like so obvious they want. But usually it's like beginners that just don't know better.
Yeah, I mean a nit roll, I'm not too upset over. Like a proper slow roll, if somebody's really taking the time with the nuts, then I'll be honest, I can get a little irritated. It's like, is that really necessary? Like, I haven't done that. Like, if I do that to you, sure, you can do it back. But if I haven't done it, then why would you do me like that? But some people are just worried, right? They see ghosts in everything. They always think their opponent have the nuts or the second nuts. It's all right. I'm not too bothered by that. I like being friendly in poker. Sometimes a bit too friendly, where I know that if you want to go very try hard, you could say I lose some EV by the way I talk, the way I speak, how honest I am about certain places, but it doesn't really bother me. For me, poker is a lot about having fun, being social, interacting with other humans. Especially when you spend as much time behind a screen as you and I do, Todd. I find it fun to just sit at a table with 8 other individuals and get a little party going.
Yeah.
Very fun memories of our days in Korea, 7 Luck. Couple cheeky drinks late at night, vibing with the Chinese businessman.
Dude, we were so bad at this game. I think back then.
That was pretty good, man.
No,
I was crushing.
I think we were both terrible.
I don't know, my game hasn't changed at all. No, honestly it has. It has a little, but you know, in the end you have 2 cards and you try to make something happen. Running out of time here, that's one thing I do see. We tossed in another time bank. Those vouchers look a lot like the meal vouchers, and every single time I was like, is he just trying to buy extra time with a meal voucher? It's like, here, deal, I have some fried rice on me. Some dumplings. I really want to try the spicy dumplings again we had on the first night. They're good, man. I'm a simple man, Todd. I'll find something I like, and I want it.
Yeah, the problem is that like you'll get bored of it if you have it too often.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I haven't had it since the day we arrived.
Yeah.
I know that's barely 2 days ago, but still.
And we're gonna see a folds, and we're gonna see the camera go all the way back now. Look at this. Shh. I was behind the camera, guys.
And the future table is completely empty, as everyone. For the people who are opening the stream right now, I just found this stream. I know it's incredibly difficult to find, and you guys are wondering what on earth is happening over here. We are down to 17 players, and if we are down to 16 players, everybody makes it to the next day. And at this point, we're going to play hand for hand. Otherwise, it's obviously not fair if one table goes a lot quicker than the other table. So whenever this hand is done on this future table, everybody just gets up and takes a little look at one of the hands that's happening over at the side tables to see if somebody will get eliminated. And if someone does bust, well, then we're down to 16. And we'll probably hear a loud roar. I've heard a couple of roars throughout the weekend, especially the one where everybody in the free roll made it into the money. Man, they were tearing down the roof of this place. I was like, guys, it's a casino, not a football stadium. Take it easy. The PSG Ultras would have been proud of that one, huh?
Everybody's happy when that happens, except the bubble person.
Mate, I have never been in that exact position. I've been close to the bubble a few times.
Yeah.
Especially one in the one in Malta. Oh, that one hurt, man. I was like 4 or 5 spots away from the money, and I could have made it by folding everything because I had like 8, 9 big blinds.
Yeah.
But you know, if I'm at the cutoff and I've got pocket tens, I'm freaking sending it. You know, like I'm here to win this tournament, not for a min catch.
Yeah.
And big blind called me.
I lost. I got to imitate pretty close to the bubble as well in Malta, on a sick hand too. I had like 20 blinds under the gun, ace king, and then some guy got spicy with ace jack. I think it was.
Oh, that's even
yeah,
worse.
it's like the worst.
Yeah, the guy that called me in the big blind was like the only guy that I actually knew very well because he was a gamer too, and we had a long chat in the break, and then we come back from the break, and he called, and we had similar stacks, you know, I had 9 big blinds, he had 9 big blinds, and he calls me with ace king, and the flop was safe for my tens, but the turn was a king, so I got eliminated 5 spots away from the money in the main, and then he came to me, he's like, sorry brother, I thought you jam ace queen, and I have to call. I was like, no. I was like, well, maybe I would have, but no. Why did you do that? We had like a 20-minute conversation about Dota and Romania, you know, and I was really getting into it. 3 minutes later, he buzzed me 5 spots before the money. Truly are no friends in poker.
Yeah, William is gonna all in it the ace 10 here. And Jin Boshin, I think he was trying to apply pressure.
Did he just use a time bank for queen 3? This man loves his offsuited low kicker queens, man. Because earlier he was deep in the tank with queen deuce offsuit. Now it's queen 3 offsuit. Well, I think he opened, right? And it's a small blind or a big blind jam, yeah. So this is just proper Hollywooding by Ja William. He's just trying to make his, by Jin Boshin. He's just trying to make it seem like, hey, I'm not raising with nothing over here. It's like, I really want to call, but I will never call in 8 million years because I've got queen 3 offsuit. But if I just do my best Tom Dwan impression, he is really going to sweat. But in the end, I'll make the painful fall. And these guys are good actors, like Hollywood and Bollywood. Get ready, because Jeju acting class is coming. I've seen some proper A-tier acting over here so far, though.
Yeah. I mean, like, I understand not like snap playing necessarily,
got
but
an all in.
sometimes it feels a little bit over the top. Ace 8
Yep.
versus Ace Queen, so I assume
Ace 8 has less, no? By the looks of it, because the other guy is keeping his no help. I do see a bunch of black cards, and is that Ace 8 suited? I think it's just the
Yeah, spades.
10 of spades, though, right? And the 5 of clubs. Alright, Ace Queen still in the lead. It is an 8 and an 8 only. And that is not an 8, so Ace 8 is out, but who had more?
yeah, Ace 8. I mean, if you jam Ace 8, usually
Yeah, you
you're
have
not
less.
doing too hot.
And that means that we are done potentially for the day, because we have been sitting on 17 players for quite some time. And with this elimination, we are down to 16. And that could explain that loud roar we heard earlier. These guys are happy. They have survived the day 1 main event flight C. And they can get ready for the second day of the main event. Whether that is tomorrow or the following day, they're gonna get the bags. I have to admit that. I've never bagged anything. I always played. Actually, that's not true. I did bag it once. One main
By the way,
event.
Yeah, you don't play many multiple days.
No, that's true. Like, I've mostly played one day events, but I have actually bagged twice even. I don't know why I said never, but
Yeah.
but never a big bag. You know, it's always like a set amount of chips. Like, how much you have? It's like 18 big blinds. You know, like I've never put a mountain of chips in my bag.
Yeah, big stacks are supposed to be rare, obviously.
No, that is going to do it. I have no idea if we are eventually going to continue this broadcast. There's also a chance it goes offline and then online again, and that changes the link. The only thing I can recommend anyone who is currently listening is to give the YouTube channel a follow, thumbs up, and then you get some notifications as well when we go live again. I don't think there's anything today, but perhaps they'll surprise us. Though it is still early.